Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering October 13th to the 19th, but of course the messages can apply anytime you feel guided, as my intention into these sessions is that the readings are timeless. Welcome to new subscribers. I channel the Earth Angel Collective, and that's those on this planet who identify as empathic, highly sensitive, caregivers, healers, intuitives, in all aspects of the service field. A lot of us are drawn to spirituality and the unseen. So there's a lot of different aspects. So that is always my intention with these readings, that I'm speaking to that collective. I am excited to work with the moon energy. So this energy is going to tap into the full moon in Aries that we've just dropped into. And I have my hematite and my rhodochrosite here as well. I feel like the collective needs grounding energy. So Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. They say Aries is the oldest, ancient wisdom. When I think of Aries energy, I think of like ancient wisdom, maybe like the old man energy, like that wise energy. But also too, the shadow part is like impulsivity, right? Impulsiveness. And so this week I feel like true colors are coming out of ourself and others. Triggers, people are being triggered by things. The full moons always are a clearing and a cleansing process, and I feel like in those experiences there's knowledge and wisdom within them. Rhodochrosite is a passion stone to ignite passion. It also brings comfort and nurturing in a lot of ways too. So I feel like this week you're being asked to give yourself some extra love and comfort. Now, the Earth Angel Collective can also fall into the trap of that not good enough or I'm not enough energy and overgive or overshare and then compromise your own needs. So I feel like, well, going from that last week into this week, we're going into a space of seeing people's true colors. And then also seeing our own true colors. So this stuff is coming up so that we can make the best decisions according on what we see. There's a lot of programming that's being broken down. There's a lot of things going on with relationships. So I ignited the energies of my candles, divine love, divine wisdom, and divine power. It is believed that's all we need on this planet is when you have divine love, divine wisdom, divine power. It really expands your spiritual growth, and really your ability to do anything on this planet is like limitless. Of course, there's actions that come into that, and of course there's the divine plan, but I'm feeling I want to activate that energy of divine love, divine wisdom, and divine power. It's a threefold flame that is nestled inside your heart, into the chamber of your heart, and I feel like I want to ignite that light within you throughout this reading. So I'm going to get started. So I am now going to put the cards that I'm using in the description below. It can save time and give you more energy to do these readings right away. So I'm starting with the Angels of Atlantis deck, and I've been wanting to use these cards for a while now, but they didn't feel right. And so as I was putting the energy together for this reading, these were like, okay, this is coming up. So I want to start by opening up space, and I want to invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today, and the entire Earth Angel Collective. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. So my intention with this is the energy into this week, the angel support into this week. Okay, so what is the most important thing the Earth Angel Collective needs to know this week? Wisdom. I feel like last week started with going within into the shadow, seeing things that we didn't see before. A lot of things are being revealed, and sometimes it's a hard truth and a harsh reality for a lot of people. And of course, it stinks when we see it, but now you have the best knowledge and wisdom to make the best decisions going forward. So I have my wisdom candle here that I hadn't ignited yet. So we're activating wisdom. So let's see what angel wants to come out. Okay, let's do that one. Sandalphon. His message is intention. I mean, it's no coincidence. This person, so water is very feminine, energy of movement and flow. This has been a common theme the last couple readings, going within, connecting to the divine. So when loneliness or sadness or worry comes in, if you can interrupt that energy, I don't want you to suppress it, but notice it, acknowledge it, but then also bring your attention to the divine, whatever that higher power is, God, source, creator, universe, angels, angel Sandalphon, whatever that energy is to you, because it's all about intention this week. Intention, setting your intentions of how you want to feel going forward. Maybe it's feeling safe, feeling supported, feeling empowered, feeling uplifted. Because it doesn't matter how much we embark to change the people around us. It's their free will to do as they may. The more we can shift back within ourselves and saying, okay, how can I do my inner work? How can I light up the planet? How can I be of service? It naturally draws in people that are in that vibration. I almost feel like there's a lot of shakeups this week for people. So, I'm going to just kind of tell it how it is. It seems like a week that is about shakeups and purging and harsh truths, but it also feels too like you almost knew it was coming, or you could see it coming. In a way, it was almost like, I think we've been talking a lot about harsh realities, things being revealed, truths. And again, this isn't doom and gloom, but I almost feel like you're praying and asking God for help and assistance, and he's showing you. So it's not always going to come in as unicorns and rainbows and like sprinkles and glitter, which is all fine and dandy, but that's not going to get you to move. That's not going to get you to make changes. So I feel like Sandal's coming in for you to set your intentions. And then also, too, if you don't have intentions of shifting a situation, if it's not in your intention, like, well, I'm not leaving and this isn't going to happen and I'm stuck in this space, if you can maybe get to the place where you can accept, like, okay, so for example, right now we have new neighbors that live upstairs and they're loud. They've got a baby and they've got a dog and grandparents that are living with them, and they're living their life, and I'm underneath and it's noisy. And I'm in a lease. I can't leave right now. So instead of fighting it, what I did was every time I was annoyed by the noise of them just playing, right, I would remind my brain that it's none of my concern. I don't need to think about it. It's not, and neutralizing the trigger. Like, nope, I don't need to hear it. Ignore that. It doesn't matter. And so what happens, it's the same thing when people live behind a train or near a train, or when people live near a fire department, or people live off a highway. It's like they train their brain to not pay attention to that. And so what happens is when the train goes by at night, what happens is eventually they don't hear it. When they live off of a highway or a major road, they no longer hear the noise because their mind just kind of tunes it out. It's kind of like a self-hypnosis kind of thing. And I feel like you got a lot of distraction around you, and it's almost like it's just pulling you out of your focus. Katumi is a guy that came up earlier today for me. he's all about focus. So he could be a guide that help keep you focused on the things. And again, this could be energetic or it could be literal. And I feel like, so it could be bringing stuff up like, oh, I'm so bothered by this, or I'm so frustrated by this. But for example, for me, like there's nothing I can do about that right now. They're living their life. They're not being extra obnoxious. They're just playing with their dog and playing with their baby. And unfortunately, I'm underneath. But what it's teaching me is to tune out the noise, that it's unnecessary. It's teaching me to, again, this water energy, move with the flow instead of trying to resist it and fight it, because it's just adding more stress. And it's also giving me the sign that, hey, guess what? It's time for me to go, right? So my lease will be up in a couple months and it might be time for me to shift, right? So this is what I mean about the universe is bringing things in alignment for you, and it's bringing change for you, but your ego part of you or your mind part of you may not want to see it. And so now you're being distracted by other things that are not necessarily important. So I feel like Sandalphon is saying here, what is your intentions? Like, what's your intentions? Like, what do you want for yourself? And if you're not sure, going into the divine, of course, like I feel like there's this beautiful yellow energy, this divine energy, that they're just in prayer position, or if you're a Reiki practitioner, it's Gasho position, right? And it's bringing the awareness to the heart, and the heart is the connection to the divine, and that the deeper parts of us. So I'm going to use the Moonology cards. So I already have the full moon in Aries, which the message is a fiery climax approaches, meaning anything that you're done with and you're sick of or you're over, change might be forced upon. And again, it's all a good thing. Every time we go to the gym or every time we exercise, right? We might be sore the next day, but we're getting stronger. So understand that this is the work the earth angels are being asked to do. No more procrastination, no more putting things off, no more worries and fears. Of course, that's a natural part of us being human, but I feel like a lot of you might be in the space where you're like, enough is enough. Like, I'm just going to take that leap of faith, or I'm going to make that phone call, or I'm going to set up my resume, or I'm going to call that person, or I'm going to hop in my car and go for a ride. Like, it's almost like now is the time. We can't delay on the action anymore. And again, it's not bad. It's a really good thing. So I'm going to pull another card here of moon energy and see what the message is, what the energy into. So I'm going to ask Sandalphon, what more do you want the Earth Angel Collective to know about your card intention here? All right, so what's the most important thing you need to know this week? October 13th to the 19th. Sandalphon is the angel of music. He's the angel that helps our prayers get to God faster. I always see Sandalphon at like the bottom of an elevator, and we come up, we offer what we offer, and Sandalphon's on it, especially those who are praying for others. Sandalphon makes sure the energy is continued to be carried for those people. Okay, what's the most important message that you have? What? What do you need to release? Wow. So here we have winter energy. You're in a place, you're being asked to clear out things. And again, this is mental thinking. It could be physical stuff. I just went shopping and got some new stuff. And every time I go shopping, and I shop responsibly, every time I go shopping, I make a commitment to myself to get rid of the same amount of stuff, if not more. So I went in and I actually released clothes that I wasn't going to wear anymore. And sometimes I love them and I'm like, well, other people can be blessed by them. So that was my releasing yesterday. And so, of course, this is a perfect card, especially with Aries full moon, which is about releasing, right? Aries is the fiery energy. So I'm not an astrologer or a tarot card reader, but if there are astrologers or tarot card readers where you know what's going on in the planet, or you're channeling the same things, please share in the comments below. I think it's amazing how we're in different energies in the way we channel, some people through tarot cards, some people through astrology and what's going on with the planets, and the messages keep coming up the same. So again, please feel free to share your thoughts in the description below too, because some people may resonate with that. I mean, in the comments below. But what do you need to release? I mean, there's not much more I can say about that. What are your intentions and what do you need to release? All right, so let's go further. So now I'm using Queen of the Moon Oracle cards. Queen of the Moon Oracle cards. So I feel like this energy is very masculine, which is great. And now let's use the Queen of the Moon Oracle card. So I am so drawn to these cards as a triple moon sign. Moon and water is my home in a lot of ways. So I love doing these readings when it falls on a new moon or full moon. All right, so Queen of the Moon, divine feminine energy. What additional message do you have for the collective this week? Protection. I love it. Look at this beautiful energy here. Maybe some of you are feeling vulnerable. Maybe you're not feeling safe. So this card right here is number 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 is family and stability. 6 is, oh God, what is it? I always forget 6. Vision and acceptance. Yes, vision and acceptance. So the number 6 resonates with, so those of you who are life path 6, one of the things you've come into this life to learn about is vision and acceptance. So this is an extra bonus for 6 life path people. That's what I do in my life purpose sessions, is really bring to light what your life path is and the numbers and what you've come here for. But I feel like this message is for the Earth Angel Collective as a whole. You may be feeling this week. And I feel like the divine wants you to know that it's keeping you safe and protected. Some of you may not be feeling this in your job, in your relationships, in your home. And so know that the divine is protecting you through this transformation, especially Angel Sandalphon, and that as you make changes, remember that the divine has your back, right? There's like these energetic wings that are lifting you up. So as you're in this space, it's like this bird here is lifting you up and taking you somewhere new. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of movement in these next couple months as we finish out 2019. And like I said, I feel like hard truths are coming up. And I have to say, I also want to say that you are being divinely protected. So when things happen to you, I always say, if you can see that life is happening for you and not against you, everything changes. So even when you have the appearance of bad things happening, there's always light in the darkness. And so there's always a reason why things happen the way they do. And so if you can move through this space knowing that you're being protected, maybe God foresees something and is pushing you out of a situation and is making challenging and difficult, right? I think there might be arguments and stuff that might be coming up. It's not worth expending your energy on somebody who has their fingers in the ears going, la, 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 I don't hear you, I don't hear you. And so it can be the same way. And for you, you could also be doing that to your guides and creator. Maybe they're trying to tell you something about a person and you're like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. Good, bad, or indifferent. They might be telling you, go to this person, or they may be telling you, stay away from this person. This is the true colors. Either way, there's an internal battle that's happening. And that's what gets and pushes you to something better. And I feel like that's what's coming up. So again, you may be feeling like, I just want to curl up in a hole and I just want everything to go away. Know that when you're in that, do that for yourself. Maybe you get in your bed and you just kind of curl up and cry and you just kind of hash it out, but call on the divine. As much as things happen in my life and that I don't understand and I get angry about and I'm confused about, I always know that there's a divine plan behind it. I may not know in the moment, and I might be like, well, this sucks and it's not fair. I can't even tell you how many times I said that in the last week. But I also know to the depth of my being that God knows what he's doing. And I've seen it time and time again. So understand that this uncomfortable part, the things that have triggered this experience are part of the journey. And even the people that appear bad are also part of the process. And that's why I like to call them shadow teachers, right? There's light teachers and shadow teachers. Both are needed for balance on the planet, right? If you're not pushed and you're not challenged by something, you'll stay where you're at forever, and the human part of you will get bored and create drama. So if you've got drama in your life, ask yourself, what's distracting you? What drama continues to keep coming up, and what is it keeping you from? What should you and could you be doing when there's distraction in other areas that really don't need your attention, that's very low vibrational? Because we're getting more towards stability, and it really has to come from within yourself. So I'm going to ask the divine, as we have the Aries full moon is about releasing, what is the most important thing that needs to be surrendered and released? These are my power of surrender cards. So I'm going to say, what is the most important thing that you need to focus energy on to release this week? So it's funny. I usually wait for the cards to pop out, but I have this fear that a card's going to fly out and catch on fire. So if you've noticed, I've been doing this a little different. I'm just kind of grabbing them because they're not going to fly out because I've got this fear. So I'm doing it a little differently this week because of that. So, but I felt like I really needed the energy here. So what needs to be surrendered by the collective this week? Defensiveness. Yes. When you don't feel safe, there is a need to defend yourself. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Like I said, friends, I think there's going to be some upheaval this week. I think there's going to be some shifts. I think it's all good. It's going to show you what you need to release and what you need to move more towards, especially as here we are in New England going into these winter months. I think people are hibernating energetically in a lot of places. Knowing that you're protected through the appearance, maybe you're not feeling safe and protected, and the universe is reminding you that we got your back. And so surrender the need to surrender defensiveness. So I also am hearing the words justifying yourself, explaining yourself. If you got a song in your heart that you want to sing, whatever it is, whether it's something you want to acquire or it's something you want to work towards, if you've got a song in your heart and you got people around you telling you all the reasons why you shouldn't and you can't, that is going to, it's like a bird in a cage and they're shutting the door. And it brings up a feeling of trapped. And then you go into this defensiveness of but. I think Frank Sinatra has a quote, I think it's Frank Sinatra, that says, success is the greatest revenge. So it's not about revenge on another person and getting people to see your point of view and being able to justify, because again, that's the fingers in the ears, la la la, I don't hear you, I don't see you. And so when you come back to yourself and remember, I got this song in my heart, I'm being protected, it's coming up for a reason, so I can release it and get clear about what my intentions are for my life, right? We eliminate the need to defend ourselves. again, it's no coincidence that defensiveness comes up and protection comes up. So as you release things and as you make changes, it sometimes can trigger other people's insecurities and fear, right? And then they can downplay it and tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't. So that might be another thing that's coming up this week. Release other people's expectations of you, their programs on you, their old beliefs, what they say you can and can't do, because you won't need to defend yourself. When you're slinging a sword, friends, it's exhausting, right? It like really depletes your energy and really distorts your own intuition and your own perception of things. So I feel like that's where the divine is saying, release defensiveness, release defending yourself and proving and making them wrong and you right. And no, pull back from that. When you can get clear about what your own needs are, you can express that in a more empowered way. I feel like many of you earth angels are becoming stronger and empowered, especially in intuition and knowing things. We're seeing a lot more intuitives and healers pop up. And I think that's just the way the stars are aligning right now, is like the veil has become really thin. But you really want to be mindful of who is telling you what. Are they feeding the ego part of you? Are they feeding the fears? Or are they lighting you up? Are they showing you the truth? Are they supporting you? Are they blessing you? Are they inspiring you? Are they comforting you? Those are all the good things, because remember, we as earth angels, we've come here for connection. We've come here for laughter and joy and play. And unfortunately, a lot of us have fallen into a dynamic of people who are the complete opposite of that. And there's a lot of enabling. We're shifting from the codependency energy. So I feel like this is but again, it's a very masculine energy. I'm just thinking of what more I want to say about that. So I'm looking at these words here. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. And I want to counter that and say you're not weak. It's the projections of the energies around you that has made you feel weak. And because of that, you've been forced to defend yourself. So I feel like the earth angels earth angels for a while have fallen into the pricker bush. And what an image that I keep seeing is we're slowly pulling out the prickers. Slowly but surely. And it's sore, right? We got to do it. It's almost like ripping the Band-Aid off. And I feel like this week there's going to be just true colors. Not good, not bad, just wow. I have to say, I'm a little not nervous myself, but I'm like, all right. Here we go, because I know that the collective is tired. I know that the collective has been worn down. And so we've been moved into this space. And I feel like the divine is saying, call on me and I'll protect you, especially the Archangel Michael. If you hear sirens, fire trucks, ambulances, that's the Archangel Michael. Okay, so let me grab another card here. So this is my Angel Therapy deck. And I'm going to ask... So this is usually support. Angel therapy is usually support. So this all being said, releasing, clearing, seeing people's true colors, just all the stuff coming up. It's like really a deep cleaning, pulling things out. It's like, when you got to go into a broom closet or you've got to clean out that junk drawer, you got to pull everything out. And then you got to put it back slowly and organize. That's what's happening right now with the Earth Angel Collective. Again, I feel like I'm explaining the same things in a lot of different ways. So hopefully this resonates with all those that are watching as share in a different ways. So the Angel Therapy deck. So I'm going to ask, let's see, let me just put all these together. I'm just going to ask, what's the most important thing that the collective needs to know now? Therapy. If you get nervous, focus on service. I mean, again, there's no coincidence that this is another angel taking flight. So I feel like this is a sign of where you're at. And these are where you're going. And this is how to get there. All right, so the message on this says, let's just get these in alignment. Put your entire intention, there's that word again. Put your entire intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. I love it. So when you pull out of this, when you pull out of the energy that's meddling, that's disruptive, that's abusive, that is manipulative, when you pull out of that energy and you go within your own heart and saying, okay, what lights me up? What cherishes my soul, right? I have to say, I've gone through so much transformation in the last couple years. I thank God I've had my work, my service. I've always known what I was supposed to do. I've known like my calling, right, and my passion. But the more I expand in that area, the more everything else around me gets shaken up. And all I can do is trust. And last week's reading, there was this river card. Mother Nature came up. The Gaia cards was about movement. And this is the stuff that comes up so that you can move. So I feel like this is more an extension on last week's reading. If you haven't seen it, definitely go back. I also just did a pick a card reading, which if you stay to the end of this video, it'll be on the screen. And it was about the 1010 portal energy that came up. So we're in a powerful energy of releasing and things coming to light. But in that, you get more knowledge and wisdom, right? This is what you're getting right now. Spiritual wisdom. You're observing, you're seeing, instead of getting in the thick of it. Rise above it and just watch from a distance, right? Everything you say about other people that's triggered you or make you angry, you may be doing that to yourself in some way. It might be an experience you're having or have had. And so if you can really pull back and focus on service, focus on how you can do a good in the world. So me and my cousin, every morning we Marco Polo each other and we do our gratefuls. What am I grateful for today? Sometimes our gratefuls are the same day after day. And some, we talk and we go off on a tangent. And I feel like that is setting the intentions for the day, setting the intention with gratitude really vibrates that energy out, because I'm just noticing that because I set my morning off like that, I'm looking for things throughout the day that I'm grateful for, right? Like attracts like, law of attraction. So that shadow energy, or those shadow teachers that want to pull you under, that want to tell you you're not good enough, that you can't do this and you can't make it happen, that energy is just going to get louder. And just like I do with the people upstairs, God bless them, the noisy people upstairs, I have to tune it out. Right? I have to find a way to find the calm in the storm. Talk about true to life, right? Because I laugh and I'm just like, wow, God, I hear you. I easily get distracted and I easily get disrupted by other things. And so I'm teaching myself to find the calm in the storm. And that's life, friends, right? So here's the way. Focus on this week what makes your heart sing. Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's a really good book. Oh, and now I'm hearing sirens. Archangel Michael. Wow. Archangel Michael. Oh, they just stopped. As I acknowledged him, they stopped. Archangel Michael is the protector. Don't forget him. Call on him. He'll light you up. He'll send sirens, fire trucks, ambulances, cop cars. His message is always help is on the way. You're not alone, right? There's that protection energy. He wants to be in the space. And he will guide you. He's the guardian of light, right? So he will make sure that you are moving in the direction that will be the optimal action to conserve energy for your own light. So ask yourself, how have you been giving away your light? And really, I'm really asking you, friends, please don't critique yourself. Please don't shame on yourself. Please don't bully yourself. This stuff you need to be aware of it so that you can shift it and change it. So all it is an observation. This, what do I need to release? And this defensiveness, I don't want it to be, I'm never going to get better, or, it's never going to shift and change. That's just going to keep you in that space feeling stuck. And that's not what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to shine a light on the things to help you see it so that you can be educated and you can be wise and move forward from it. You know, there are a lot of things I don't want to see and I want to pretend are not happening, but it only gets louder, right? And I just think there's going to be big shakeups. I'm very far removed from the world, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are shakeups in the world as well around this energy. Don't tell me, I don't need to know. I have to remain in that high vibration so I can channel this energy, but of course, you know, I hear and know things that I need to hear and know. So protect yourself. If you've got energies around you that are lowering your vibration, make changes, you know, and being able to optimize your time with them and that energy, and then focus on service. If you're not really sure what that is, call on the divine. Ask God to show you truth. I say that all the time. Show me truth. But you have to take your fingers out of the ears. All right, so yeah, I think that's the messages. Wow, that was a little more dense. It was a little more heavier, but I almost think it needs to be said. These things need to come out so that you have a baseline. And also, too, if these things are happening to you, you're not alone. I mean, I'm going through experiences like this in a lot of ways. And so are my clients that are coming in, and I do these so that you can feel less alone. Because remember, Earth Angels of the planet are the minority, right? It's natural for us to not feel like we fit in or that people don't understand us. So I created this channel for a safe space for Earth Angels to come to figure out what's going on in the world and why am I going through these difficulties. We're in a space of a big spiritual growth and transformation. And if anybody tells you spiritual growth and expansion is easy, they've never been through the dark night of the soul, or they've never been through a transformation. But what it is when you no longer resist and you go with the flow and you fully have faith in that divine plan, it lessens the impact and speeds up the recovery process. And I just want to say one more thing. If you can see throughout your life how maybe you had warnings about things, or maybe you had an intuition about things and you did it anyway. I mean, how many times do you do things and you're like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have done that, or I knew it. Like, I knew. People will say to me, Gladys, I knew walking down the aisle, or I knew going into that interview it wasn't for me. But if you're making choices out of that desperate place, you're only going to make lateral movement. So a lot of us are being asked to be isolated right now, being contained, to pull out of the energy so that you can get away from all people's energies and get more clear about what works for you, because it's only a matter of time before God's going to ask us to go out into the world and shine our light. And you're not going to be able to do that if you're still in that empathic energy that people drain me and I can't do this and I can't do that. And it's not empowering, you know, and I'm here to teach you and educate you through these readings and the work that I do, that there is a true power in you being able to do your work when you can know yourself through and through, through. You can be anywhere, and it doesn't matter how sensitive you are. You can be anywhere and still leave empowered and uplifted. I have to say, when I go out into the world and things are challenging or difficult, say I'm stuck in traffic or something, or I'm around that energy, I remind myself that I'm in control, and I look around and I see what's going on. Like, I just observe and I listen to music, and it's more uplifting that way, rather than feeling stuck and drained and tired and depleted and going home and just feeling powerless. So that's my mission, and I'm sure it's your mission too in a lot of ways. And you are the teachers who are showing up in this channel. You are learning so that you can educate and you can teach, and we can build our army, right? God's stormtroopers. So keep the faith. That's a message that keeps coming up. You do you. That's a message. And I'm going to close space by thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. So if you'd like to book a private session with me, there is a link in the description below. If you'd like to learn about me, check out my website. There's a lot of information there. I thank you so much for watching. If you feel like you have a friend or a loved one that's going through this and they need to hear these messages, please share. Please like the video if you like it, only if you like it, because that's just going to help more people see this. So thank you so much. And remember, friends, I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.